to sing Defying Gravity from the musical Wicked.
Oh, wow.
Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts. Close my eyes and leap. It's time to try defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity, and you can't pull me down.
Different girl for the one we saw backstage here.
So if you can't find me, look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves the chance to fly. And if I'm flying solo, at least I'm flying free. To those who ground me, take a message back from me. Tell them how I'm defying gravity. I'm flying high, defying gravity, and soon I'll match them in renown. And nobody in all of us, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna bring me down. Bring me
And now here's the man himself.
Mr. Tango, let me turn this light off. That's better.
Here he is, Mark Memphis. Good evening, Mark. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Sorry that you had to wait, but we thought we'd show I don't know how she is. She's one of our future guests very soon.
All right.
Okay. How are you today?
I'm fine. It's a bit cold compared to what we've had weather-wise, but yeah, can't complain. It's all right.
How is your tell us how's your music getting on? Are you been getting out there lately?
Fits and starts is the best way to describe what's been happening recently. I've lost a few bookings since Boris put another month on our life-draining sentence, but yeah, it's getting there. Later on in the summer, my bookings have pretty much picked up, and I think I'll be okay up until Christmas by the looks of it, which is quite a relief. But anyway, it's all Boris permitting at the moment. You know, we're all waiting for, you know, to hear what he has to say and what he decides, because at the moment it is still quite difficult to get gigs out there. A lot of the places aren't able to operate in a COVID-friendly manner. Pubs can, you know, don't get me wrong, but in terms of them being places for us to perform in, you know, it is difficult. People still aren't allowed to dance, but it is where it is at the moment.
Okay. I usually see you in a different form when we're all having our chats on a Monday about mental health and all that. But this is a bit on the other side, really, about your music and about the interview. Not many people have kind of like they probably have, but not many people know about you. And you know what I'm trying to say is, what kind of music do you actually cover? Do you cover every genre, or do you cover just 60s and that's it?
50s and 60s is what I do in my show. Anything from, I'd say, 1955 up to 1964. So you've got like a decade there, 10 years. I have been known to slip in an odd song from the 80s when it suits, but by and large, it's of that era. And the 80s song that I slip in isn't something random, like I don't suddenly do a Duran Duran song or Paula Abdul or something like that. It's Shakin' Stevens, so it's pretty much similar in style to what I do. So you don't really see the joins as much.
Okay. Said about Shakin' Stevens, I was going to mention that to you.
Mhm.
Shakin' Stevens, when he first came out, he said to everybody, I'm going to be the next Elvis Presley. That's his own words.
Mhm.
And never got there, mate. Never got there. He only lasted so long on television and everything. And next minute, he was like Adam the Ant. He was gone.
Well, actually, I don't know if you watch the old reruns of Top of the Pops, which are on BBC4 on a Friday night. I think they've just reached 1991. I was actually quite shocked to discover that Shakin' Stevens lasted right up until I think 1989 or 90. He had, he wasn't as huge as he was in the beginning of the 80s.
He had Green Door was in 1990. Then after
Green Door was 1981. That was like 1981 was his golden year, if you know what I mean. There was him and there was Adam Ant. They seemed to be, when you were at school, you're either into Shakin' Stevens or Adam Ant. So
Dan Deliver,
yeah. But Shaky did continue through the 80s, but like most people, his presence in the pop charts seemed to take a little bit of a slide. Still a popular performer from what I can gather, and he's still very popular.
I know he's still performing. I know he's still performing, but why I'm kind of like I'm not picking on Shaky himself, but what I'm trying to say is, with music now, not many people can last in the music industry because it's like I've just been watching X Factor and Britain Got Talent, and the trouble is with those shows, to me, this is only my opinion, so please people don't email me, but my opinion, they're complete waste of bloody time. All right.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that to some point. I think there's been a handful of people that have come through who have endured, but not necessarily endured in the pop charts, which is what those shows are set up for. I think it's the people from the very, very early days which have managed to hold on to some success. People like Gareth Gates, you don't see him in the charts. He's from Bradford, where I live, but he's very, very popular.
Isn't he?
He's still doing stage shows. He's a accomplished stage singer. Does pantomimes and all the rest of it. Shane Ward, bless him. He became an actor. Coronation Street, I think, was the last thing. I saw him in. Will Young is still out there. He's bringing out albums. He might not have hit singles, but people still go to see him. But and I think the last huge name that came out of those talent shows was probably Little Mix, who they've been going for 10 years and they're still having hits now. You get people like James Arthur that pops up now and then, but the rest of them, Leon Jackson, but he won it in 2007, but where's he gone? Leona Lewis, for me, was the biggest travesty to ever happen to a British talent show. I think she's absolutely dreadful. So I think I'm going to start agreeing with you that those programs are a waste of time because of Leona Lewis.
So you reckon Leona Lewis was a complete waste of space?
Terrible, absolutely terrible. She was, and she is a. And this is only my opinion. So if you're going to send emails in, do send them to Steve, because he's encouraging me to. I would much rather maintain a dignified silence when it comes to Leona Lewis. But seeing as you've asked, she's a wannabe Mariah Carey. She has the personality of the book that my phone is leaning on right now as I'm speaking to you. I'm using a book as a prop. It's just not my cup of tea, but having said that, people like her, so good luck to her.
Yeah, okay. But trouble is, though, music has changed through the years and everything. And the trouble is, everybody's kind of like catch up with, what people like. What do you think what people like now?
Well, I occasionally DJ. I do DJ work because I used to be a DJ years and years ago, and I play this modern music for the young people, and I haven't got. I sound old when I say this, and I'll be able to dig myself out of this hole quite easily. I think I have genuinely no idea what people are aiming to be in music nowadays. I was very critical of music 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But I could, you could pick up on what they were trying to do. Now because it's electronic and it's just utterly disposable. I just don't, honestly, I could not describe what the music is. It's just modern music. It's, like I say, it's electronic. I think music has lost its way, to be honest with you, in terms of the hit single, certainly when we were younger, you bought a 7-inch record, you cherished it, and there were songs. There were songs, and they were sung with some degree of passion and sincerity. They were usually written by the people that were singing them. There was real musicians backing them. Again, I'm sounding so old, and I'm sounding like probably what our grandparents used to sound like when they'd hear the music that we were growing up with. But
I totally agree with you. The music has changed. Me, I like anything from I play on my radio site. I play like from the 50s right up to I think it's to the 80s, but not much 80s. It's usually in the 70s. And people, when they say to me, I've got a dedication from my granddad or whatever like that, or can you do a dedication for my sister? She got married today and she wants whatever. I'll have, I've got the music, but I don't want to play it because I don't think that kind of song, like rap, right? I don't call it rap, I call it something else.
Do you put a silent C in front of it?
Yes, yeah. Right, so I put a silent C towards it. Then what I usually do is I say, sorry, I ain't got it, and I play a different one. But the trouble is, people love it. People love that sort of music.
That's better. Again, it's what people like it, and it's like I say, I could stand here for an hour and talk about the damage I think Leona Lewis is doing to music, but who wants to hear it? Nobody wants to hear me go on about that. She's popular enough. People enjoy it. It's all subjective. It's all about what we like. But
Can I ask you before you continue? People will kind of like say now, they say, why are you digging at Leona Lewis for?
Only because we were talking about the talent shows, X Factor, and
right. Okay.
There's far worse music out there than Leona Lewis.
Yeah.
But no, it's.
Do you think she's past the sell-by date, or do you think she's just kind of rubbish?
I don't think she ever reached a sell-by date. I don't think
Don't you think she's reached her potential then?
Well, if I said that, that'd imply that I thought she had some potential. Listen, the point I'm trying to make about Leona Lewis is that I hate that screechy, horrible singing that people sometimes do, where they hold a note and they absolutely batter the hell out of it, you know, go and doing all the, you know, that kind of singing. It's unbearable. It's awful. And even Mariah Carey, to some degree, I don't particularly enjoy her music. It's just, you know, it's just my personal taste. And to me, she is just a second-rate, third-rate, even Mariah Carey tribute artist. That's what she is. I don't think there's anything. When Simon Cowell used to go on about how wonderful she was, and then in the years after, and he'd say, "I think we found our next Leona," and I'm thinking, my God, the thing's really that bad that we're looking for a next Leona Lewis. But again, that's just my viewpoint.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
I think
Mark.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, Mark, we'll have to go. Right, okay, folks, we're going for a break. And while we're going for a break, we have got Mark Memphis and the answer to everything.
Oh, proper music.
Don't ask me about certain questions when there is only one answer to it all. Do you love me? Really love me? Yes, I love you. It's the answer to everything. If you do, don't give me a million excuses when I am waiting with my arms open wide. Do you love me? Really love me? Yes, I love you. It's the answer to everything. If you do, if there is a someone else, some other place who wants your heart, tell me now, truthfully, before we start. Don't act like you misunderstand me. And there is simply no mystery to it all. Do you love me? Really love me? Yes, I love you. It's the answer to everything. If you do, if you do. Let's wait for our dancers here. Pretty dancers.
That was Crossroads Podcast UK. And that was Mark Memphis. And we're coming back now to Mark for the next part of the interview. Hiya, Mark.
Hello again.
Yeah, that was a good. That was really good song. I love that song. It was swaying along there and everything. Yeah.
These lights are terrible. Yeah, that was actually the first time I sung that song on stage. It was weird hearing it like that because I've since, as you go along with the song, you tend to adapt certain lines because that song is quite a high song to sing from a singing range point of view, and I think I was a bit nervous about reaching some of the notes in the Del Shannon version because there's a David Alexander version that people seem to know about, but Del Shannon put that song out in the 60s on a B-side, and so the version I sing is the Del Shannon one, and he sang it quite high, and I'm happy to report that nowadays I can actually reach the notes that Del Shannon did. I was very I was very intimidated by Del Shannon's version at the start. And I only started doing that song because I had a lot of requests for it. And I was like, oh no, I really don't want to do that song. So I was only familiar with the David Alexander version, which lots of club singers do. It's quite a popular song in the clubs. And when somebody says, no, Del Shannon did it, and I looked into it and I found, oh yes, he did. And I found the backing track, and it's one of the highlights of my show. I tend to do it towards the end of my last show because, like I say, it takes a lot out of the voice because it's singing in quite a high voice, and you really have to hold these notes, what have you. But yeah, it's a great song. And just going back to what we were talking about before about, you know, what music is like today. You know, the fact that a song like that was a B-side, and as a song, it's beautifully crafted, beautifully written. Del Shannon sang it fantastically, and I just don't sense that level of respect from music today towards a song.
No.
It's just so disposable. I can't imagine anybody singing the latest Taylor Swift song. You know, I mean, that Del Shannon song is what, 60 years old now. You know, in 60 years, is somebody going to be singing on the stage of, you know, Wakefield Working Men's Club singing Taylor Swift? I don't think so, but maybe they will. I don't know.
I like Jim Reeves. I used to like Jim Reeves. Brilliant.
Why don't you like Jim Reeves anymore?
I still do like Jim Reeves.
Oh, you said I used to like Jim Reeves, so you still do?
Yeah, still do.
Oh,
still do.
Right.
Still
So I was
do.
ready to jump. I was ready to jump in then.
I'm going to play another song of yours, and
Okay.
Hang on for a second.
The suspense is killing us all.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Here we go. When you ask about love, it's Crossroads Podcast, and it's 23 minutes past. It's coffee and okay.
Rely on someone who's older. I don't know what to tell you when you ask about love. I think I know what's wrong with you. I've been going steady too long with you. I don't know what to tell you when you ask about love. Your is infatuation. It all started back during summer vacation. Someone else needs my attention. I can't go steady with you no more. Don't cry on my shoulder. Rely on someone who's older. I don't know what to tell you when you ask about love. Your is infatuation. It all started back during summer vacation. Someone else needs my attention. I can't go steady with you no more. Don't cry on my shoulder. Rely on someone who's older. I don't know what to tell you when you ask about love. I think I know what's wrong with you. I've been going steady too long with you. I don't know what to tell you when you ask about love. About love, about
That was Mark Memphis. It's 1825 here on Crossroads Podcast UK and also the radio. You can actually hear the music and you can hear the chat on the radio. On here, you can actually see Mark himself on Crossroads Podcast UK. Getting back to Mark now. Mark.
Hi.
I want to ask you some questions and I want your honest answer, okay?
Okay, yeah.
If the Queen asked you to play at Buckingham Palace, what would you play to her?
She wouldn't hear anything, so I wouldn't go. I don't support royalty. I'd decline the invitation. So that's that's ended that one.
Could you tell me why?
Well, I think that it's. I don't know. I just don't agree with why do we need a royal family in the 21st century? It's like a gesture having the royal family. Like the Queen turned up to that G7 summit last weekend. What was the point of that really? We have it's
okay.
They're a tourist attraction, but that, again, that's my personal view.
Okay, that's good. At the end of the day, everybody's got views. People on the radio, what is your view? If you were asked to go to Buckingham Palace, right? Leave your answers on. Don't leave your answers on a postcard, which I was about to say. But if you were to go to, if you were asked to go to Buckingham Palace, would you? If not, why? Just leave your messages and I'll read them through later. But Mark, when you do your gigs, when you go around doing all your gigs and everything, are there some places? I've asked you this question before. Are there some places that you do not want to go because things has happened in the past, or it's not a very nice place, but you still go because at the end of the day, there's a pay packet there for you?
I've never. How can I put this? I've sometimes walked into places and thought, oh dear, and I hope the security that's going to get me out of here alive tonight. And then those nights always end up being the best nights. I've yet to have a venue that I would dread returning to. When I was a DJ, when I was, about in my late teens and early 20s, we're talking, 30 odd years ago, there was a few pubs that I DJ'd at, and the fight would break out, and I'd say never again. I'm never going back there, and I have refused to return to places. But fortunately, at the moment, I've not yet come across a venue that I've thought, oh no, or what have you. Like I say, sometimes I've walked in and I thought to myself, I'm going to go down absolutely terribly here, because there might be quite a lot of young people in there, and the music I sing isn't necessarily. Well, it's for everybody. I'm not trying to exclude anybody, but young people generally would want to hear somebody singing songs from the charts or quite recent songs. They don't want to see some guy from Bradford turning up to sing Buddy Holly and Elvis and Roy Orbison. But sometimes, they love it and they get into it just as much as, the parents would.
Okay, yeah. Mark, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
This is Mark Memphis and Run Around Sue. And I think the bodyguards of the Queen will be kind of like chasing him after scene. No, I'm only joking. But there you go. It's Mark Memphis, and it's 6:30. Thank you, Mark, for coming on. Really, really good, really good. I'll see you.
Thank you. God save the Queen. God save the Queen.
Save the Queen. In the meantime, let's listen to Run Around Sue by Mark Memphis.
Bye-bye.
What's the definition of deja vu? It's when you've had Run Around Sue twice in one night. Here's my story, it's sad but true. About a girl that I once knew. She took my love and she ran around with every single guy in town.
Huh? Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye, Mark.
Goodbye. Ooh. I'm live. Goodbye. I'm going.